Hey everybody, and we're back with our very first dungeon. We are in the Sastasha. Probably going to be some new players here, and like I said, we're trying to get over our healer anxiety. So this is our first dungeon of beating healer anxiety. You can see I've made my party a little bit larger. I'm going to move it slightly closer to the right hand side now. This is our first time healing. Sastasha's not that bad. Sorry if I'm a little quieter at the moment. It's 2:30 in the morning. My family is sleeping. The sprouts obviously here, look, attacking the mobs as we move, so they're probably going to end up getting aggro. So I'm already watching and keeping an eye on the health bars here in case he does pull aggro. And now the tank's got a big pull here. So I'm just thinking about when he's going to stop to tank and how much damage he's going to take. And I might have to not DPS but focus fire him. Constantly thinking about what's going to be happening in this scenario. Making sure you're prepared for it. That's going to make a lot of difference. Here we go, see the machinist has taken damage now. Get everyone healed up here. I have got an AoE heal which I'm going to pop just to top everybody off, because all sorts of people have got aggro here already. Not the right people, because they kept attacking whilst the tank was running, but that's okay. Eating my mana a little bit. But we're doing okay. We understood the situation. We understood that some people were going to have aggro over others. And we dealt with it accordingly, I think. So that's the key to beating your anxiety, is reading the situation helps, right? Like, I'm not going to pretend I'm the perfect player, because I'm not by any means, and I'm brand new to Final Fantasy, so I'm learning the same as everybody else. But I understood then that the tank was likely not going to have aggro on everything. You can see he's one of these guys that just likes to run off. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. People would argue that it isn't, that there is. You should stand and tank until everything's dead, but this guy's obviously in a rush, and he wants to get it cleared. So we were just understanding there that he might not have all the aggro, and that stopped the machinist from dying. We kept everybody alive. I can do a little bit of damage here now, which is good. And back to healing. This guy takes quite a lot of damage actually, but then he's tanking half the dungeon. So there is that. You'll notice that unlike other MMOs, where when you play healer you play at ranged, I tend to stand as close to the tank as I can. The reason for that is a lot of mechanics in this game. If you're required to move or move too far away, or you get too far away from your tank, you're going to end up taking aggro and dying, or you're going to be out of the healing range and so forth. So I do try to stay within range of the tank most of the time. Get these bios out on everything, or arrows, sorry. Interrupt that to cure. Sorry for the button spam. I haven't turned the sound off that when you spam clicking or whatever, it makes that beep. Beep, 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 beep. It's really irritating, but I haven't actually changed it yet. So you can see now, this is quite an easy fight. I'm actually DPSing more than I'm healing. And it's okay to let your tanks get below half HP. They should be using cooldowns. They've got self-heals, although they shouldn't really be healing. They should be DPSing, but they do have them available to them. They should be using tank cooldowns. Like, I'm in no rush to heal this guy. I'm watching how he's managing his HP. I understand that he's not going to die in one shot anytime soon. You know, we should be fine. I'm going to greed on these pieces. I don't think I need anything drastically. I actually bought gear. I'm using the gear that you can buy from the local vendors. I think you can pick them up from any town. I think I picked those up from Limsa. So, you know, if you're worried about gear, you can go and fill the pieces in that you're missing from Limsa, or any other town for that matter, before you go. Let's get some of these arrows out. Actually, I shouldn't really be arrowing these because they're not going to have the full time. So they don't really get their damage worth out of it. Or you don't get your DPS out of it. Heal everybody. I can get arrow on this guy. Mind you, he runs off shortly. There we go. So you can see this is a fairly passive dungeon. Even though this tank is pulling like a madman, it's not affecting us badly. We're reading the situation, and the best part to get over anxiety, like I said, is just reading the situation. It's knowing what could happen, or if you have no idea about the dungeon, like at all, it's just understanding what could happen. Like later dungeons, for example, it's all about moving. Like here as well. I mean, you don't have to be here. You've never have to be here before to understand that, okay, the tank's pulling a lot, right? So he's going to take a lot of damage. There you go, look, he just took a huge chunk where everyone millied him at the same time. He's probably going to do it again. Now he's got his cooldowns up, you can see. So he's not taking as much damage. But the thing that tanks like to do is when they pull and run like that, is they forget that they're resetting the melee swing timers on the mobs. So when they first stop, everything slaps them. Really, you want to be pulling with the cooldown, I guess. Again, I'm no tank specialist. It's something I struggle with anxiety real bad, is tanking. But I imagine as you pull like that and you're resetting the timers, you should be using some sort of cooldown so that you don't get everyone melee swing you at the same time. This tank really wants to get out of this dungeon, doesn't he? Another thing that I haven't quite gotten used to yet is I'm used to heal over macros, so you know, you just hover and push a button and you heal them. I don't know if they exist in 14 yet, but I haven't got anything set up for that, so I'm having to click all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's like, what, an extra split second to click before you cast, but it's something I'm not used to. Not yet anyway. I'm sure it will come. So I want to get dots up on all of these. Not cure them, dot them. There we go. I've got to get used to what my buttons are right now. Since I'm not playing the dancer and whatever, I've got to get used to all the new keybinds, and they'll probably change as we go. As you see, I've got nothing on the cooldown bar in the middle of the screen, which I spoke about at the end of the last video. Get a couple of heals on the Dark Knight here. Just not letting him drop too far below halfway, if we can help it. Don't want anything to do with it. And I'm going to go hug the tank now so that they run in this direction. Because healing generally picks up aggro on stuff like that. Again, you see, it's just positioning there. I recognised that ads were coming in. I totally forgot ads were even there, to be honest. I recognised ads were coming in, and I moved to a situation where, or a position where I was going to be safe. I knew that if I ran to the tank and I had to cure the tank for whatever reason, or anyone else, I was going to pull aggro. So therefore, if I go and stand on the tank, then they're going to run to him. He's taking a big chunk here. He's resetting their melee swings too often. There we go. Now he's tanking. You see? You can always tell the difference. Look at that. Look at how his health chunks here. See that? You can see the small hits there. Look, that's when you can tell when a tank's using a cooldown. Like, I could click it. I can see here as well. You know that he's got his rampart up right now. You know, you can see what the tanks are doing. You can see when they're actually avoiding damage. And that's it. We're now at our final boss. So I'm just going to top him off. I don't need to, but I'm going to, so that I can just focus on doing some damage for a while. We're going to pop a heal onto him. Again, we're using the target, the party bar to target the party, obviously, and then we're using the enemy bar over the right-hand side to target the enemy. Now, I should probably be dealing with these ripples. Now, if I didn't know what these ripples were, when something comes up with a name like this, it's usually relevant to the boss fight. So if you see something like that popping up, go and click it. Go and press it. In most boss fights, there's a reason for them. Again, this goes into what I said before about just being aware of your surroundings. If you've never been to a boss fight or a dungeon or something like that before, you don't have to know it. You don't have to have been there to understand mechanics. You can figure it out. Again, these are real early dungeons, so they're nothing to be worried about. GG, thank you. Always get a commendation in. Try. We'll give the tank some love. He was quick for us. See if we get any loots for our class. I don't want that. Oh, that was the earlier one anyway. Strength I don't need. I will take the white mage staff though. And yeah, that's our first dungeon. So you see, over quickly, and like I keep emphasizing, the same point is just think about your surroundings, your positionings. You don't need to be worried about healing. That wasn't difficult. And if the tank would have died from overpulling, we'd have just said, okay, just slow down a bit. Or we'd have said, if a DPS kept dying from attacking the things while the tank was pulling, we'd just say, look, wait till the tank stops and then start damaging. Otherwise, you're gonna get yourself killed. I'm not gonna say it's easy, but already my anxiety feels better because I understand, okay, I'm not that bad of a player after all. And I think that's the problem that most people have with anxiety, is they worry about how they're playing too much and overthinking everything. And you can see there we basically breezed through that. Tank got low a couple of times, but he didn't die. So there we go. Okay, thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you soon.